Good morning, everybody. I'm going to do a sound check real quick because let's get into the mood. It's early. Let's get into the mood. I'm doing a birth chart this reading this morning. My apologies. So when I do this reading, I need for y'all to be as neutral as possible. You have to look at this in the most neutral space, even if you have your own opinions of what's going on right now. I'm gonna interpret the degrees this morning. So anyway, I think I can hear you. I'm doing a sound check. Sounds pretty good. So get your libations, specifically milk. If you have some milk, you can take some milk, go outside and pour a little milk into the ground. And the reason why we want to pour libations is because kind of honoring the ancestors. Milk. Do me a favor and go pour some milk into the earth. All right? So give me about a couple minutes and we'll be right there. Okay, you guys, so as we're coming in, I just want to give y'all a little oversight on how I'm going to do this reading. So I'm going to interpret the degrees. When I do readings, I interpret the degrees. Every degree actually is like a scripture in the sky. So when you look at the planets, a lot of times we look at the signs and just the meaning of the sign. But there are thousands, millions of people that will have some similar alignments. But when you really want to get specific, you have to actually interpret the specific degree that that planet is in, because that's what's going to tell you the most information. Just like scripture, everything has been written. So we're going to look at the actual degree and interpret the degree, and that's going to give us a little bit more insight just on how these planets will play out esoterically. So almost there, you guys. Get your libations. I'm drinking broth this morning, so make sure you guys get something to drink. Okay, everybody, we are ready to go. Grand Rising. Thank you for stopping by, Abby. Abby, Jane. Thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Yes, we are. Okay, so this morning we are going to be doing the birth chart reading of Yellow Breezy. Okay, if you're not familiar with Yellow Breezy, if you're just tapping in, he is a music artist from Dallas, Texas. And as you know, right now, his name, people kind of his name is getting thrown around in various topics of discussion. So when I do this reading, this is neutral, it's unbiased commentary, unbiased content, and we're going to find out what's going on with the young man. Well, he's going to find out a little bit more about him. Okay, so he's a Libra. He's actually he's on the cusp. So, he was born October 21st, 1991. So he's a Leo of a Libra Scorpio. So he's on the cusp of Libra and Scorpio. All right. So when I do this reading, I'm doing a reading to really look at his relationships and his involvement with other people. So what I'll be doing is really concentrating on the outer planets, okay, you guys? So the outer planets are going to be Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. I also will be concentrating on the North Node and Lilith. So we know that the North Node is karmic points. It's like the North Pole and the South Pole, we would say, of the moon, or we would say Rahu and Ketu. So Rahu and Ketu is the dragon. So it's the head of the dragon and the tail of the dragon. So some say North Node and some say Rahu and Ketu. But Rahu, these are karmic points that are at the moon. And this kind of gives you insight on your past life and your life, the role that you play in your current life. So the South Node, or we will say K2, tells you about where you came from. It also can show you some of the things that you've already mastered. And then K2 will tell you about what you came to Earth to learn and the things that you need to master. But these are considered malefic. So K2 or the North Node can be somewhat a live wire. So you know how a live wire is, right? Some people say that the K2 is the head of the dragon, all right? So we're going to concentrate on the K2 because that is kind of tell us a little bit more about direction and where he's going, okay? So if you are listening to this and you're interested in decoding numbers and information, I would highly suggest you pick up a paper and take, as I go over each planet, all you have to do is take the planet. When I say the planet, I'm going to break it down and I'm going to tell you a number. And all you have to do is write down that number, all right? So we're first going to start with the sun. The sun is in Libra. It's in the 10th house. So anytime you see any planets in the 10th house, we know that is a house. The 10th house represents fame. It also represents large groups of people, public persona. Anytime you have a planet in the 10th house, basically that planet would be more in the spotlight. That planet the energy is going to be broadcast it into a larger realm. A larger group of people are going to be able to experience your energy. So for him, his sun is in the 10th house. And as we know, we do know him in a public setting. All right. So we want to, his first planet, I'm going to try to be as, um, I don't want to be all over the place. So I'm going to try to do this and stay on the first degree is Libra is at 27 degrees 47. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to bring up that specific degree. So we're going to put in 27 degrees. Thank you everybody for stopping. Share the content. It would be appreciated. All right, so we're putting in 27 degrees Libra. So this right here is going to, I'm going to do 27 degrees Libra. And I'm going to say some words, all right? And this is going to give a description. It's submissive, unambitious, fatalistic character. One is resigned to follow the beaten path and regulate personal aspirations on the back burner. For instance, one takes on the family business or embraces a career to abide by one's parents' wish instead of focusing on matters one is really interested. Artistic activities, a nice source of solace, contribute to counterbalance, right? So basically, as a Libra, they are not humans. And when I say they're not humans, they represent an object, which means that a Libra has the ability to basically mask themselves. They have the ability to be able to take from other people and create a new identity. A lot of times Libras create false identities. The reason why they would do this is because they're not necessarily human. And when I say human, they need other people, and this is why they represent social. Libra represents relationships, so they always have to balance their identity through other people's relationships. So for him, there is a part of him where his ego is driven by acceptance. So he may be in a situation where he wants to be accepted by other people, okay? And what that means is that he could be vulnerable to following the crowd. A lot of times Libras are kind of like the popular ones. The popular group. Libras will sometimes attach themselves to what's trendy, what's trending, okay? And no shade to none of the Libras, but we're just gonna stick to my interpretation. So for his sun, you gotta remember the sun represents the ego. And what is the ego? Some people say you can have a big ego. Your ego is the part of you where you want to create your identity. Your ego is what tells you you want to be whatever it is that you want to be. When you were a child, when they said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you say, oh, I want to be a firefighter. That's your ego. Your ego is your creation because the sun represents creation. So you have an ability to create your ego, right? So there's nothing wrong with having an ego. Some people may take it a little too far and then they become egotistical, downright narcissistic. They let their ego kind of take over other aspects of their personality. So you got to remember, you're a multifaceted person. You're not just one thing. All right, so for Yellow Breezy, one would say that maybe, he has an identity crisis. And I say identity crisis, the sun is actually in detriment in Libra. So each planet has an exaltation. So the sun actually is exalted in Aries, okay? And the opposite sign of Aries is Libra. So the sun actually does not really like to be in Libra. It's a difficult energy for the sun to be in. And this is why typically with Libras, sometimes you may notice, and this is when I brought up their ability to mask themselves by using other people's identities. What Libras can sometimes do is they'll take from a lot of different people and they'll create an identity, which is kind of cool. It's not saying it's a bad thing or good thing, it's just part of their energy. And the reason why is because the sun is actually in detriment. The sun does not feel comfortable in Libra because you got to remember the sun is all about ego. And Libra doesn't really have an ego. They have to create. And this is why Libras can be very creative, is because that's their only way to exist. So they can be highly creative. And a lot of times their creativity comes from actually observing other people and taking their creativity and masking it and using it for themselves. A high vibrational Libra could be a good thing. But typically, let's think about a couple Libras. Kim Kardashian is a Libra. She basically takes the identity of someone else and she made money off of it. So let's think about the whole identity. She took the identity. Some would say that, maybe cultural appropriation. She could have culturally appropriated Black women, and Black women didn't necessarily benefit from that, but she did financially. So whatever a Libra is doing, you have to remember Libra rules contracts. Whatever Libra is doing is all for money. It's all for finances. You gotta remember that, you guys. Whatever they're doing is for money. Now they may see another thing with Libras is sometimes y'all get hoodwinked and bamboozled because you get fooled by the dimples. Libras are very charming. They speak very well. They can be very charming, and you assume that they're nice. But I have to let you guys know something about Libras. Libras can be bullies. Libras can be underhanded. And of course, Libras can be two-faced. And what does that mean? It means that a lot of times with Libras, what they'll do is they play devil's advocate a lot. So one of the things you have to pay attention with a Libra is because this is strategy for them, because they don't really give a shit. Because they really don't. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. These Libras do not get fooled by those dimples. Don't get fooled by their charming ways. I'm trying to tell you, you gonna get hoodwinked and you're gonna get bamboozled by a Libra. They do it so much that it's comical, and y'all fall for it every single time. So enough with that. We're going to move on to the next one. So yes, warning shots. Yes. Whatever I say, don't take it personal. If it ain't for you, leave it alone. And this is for Libras. I'm on to you, been on to you. You know what I'm saying? You can miss me with the bullshit. Usually I go head to head with Libras because I know the shit that they up to. And a lot of times what Libras is, everybody wants to protect the Libra. Everybody wants to come, oh, don't do that to the Libra. Don't do that to the Libra. Okay, you're going to fall off the goddamn scale fucking with a Libra. You're going to fall right off the goddamn scale fucking with a Libra because they have the ability to fucking play your goddamn ass like a fiddle. And they just do it by simple shit. All right, so let's move to the moon. So if you've written that, oh, let's also write down that number. So let me go back to that. So the 27th degree of Libra, a donkey is tethered to a windmill. A donkey is tethered to a windmill. What does that mean? A donkey is tethered to a windmill. All right? They have a submissive and unambitious and fatalistic character. So one would say that there is an individual that can control this man. He may be submissive to a specific person. He may be listen to everything that they say. Okay, because you have to remember, you guys, Libras are not humans, they're objects. And when I say that, they actually are an object. Their representation is the scales. Libra is dark. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is the morning star, which is Lucifer. And Lucifer was a beautiful angel that was charming and played music, and he was able to captivate the heavens. So just because you see something that's beautiful or has a charming baby-like face, usually Libras have a level of innocence to their face. They look very inviting, charismatic, dimples. Usually Libras have dimples. Okay? Don't get fooled by it. They can be very, very aggressive. Okay? They can be passive aggressive, or they could do both. And you got to remember, the easiest way to get back at a Libra is to completely isolate them, because a Libra has to have relationships. They feed off of relationships. They rule relationships. So how do you ice out a Libra? How would you beat a Libra? You take away all of their relationships. So if you wanted to go toe to toe with the Libra, instead of attacking the Libra, you would start to attack. I don't want to use the word attack. You would say, you would kind of focus on their relationships, the people that surround them. Because with the Libra, they have to have relationships. It's actually essential for them. And when I say relationships, I mean they need it. They need it. They're not going to admit this to you. This is the easiest, quickest way to shut a Libra down, is to completely obliterate the people that are around them, right? So a lot of times what will happen with the Libra first is you have people that are going to ride for the Libra. Usually when you go to war or attack a Libra, there are going to be people that are going to ride for the Libra, okay? And what you do is you go for those people. You take those people away. The Libra doesn't have anything. It's the easiest thing to do. Just ice them out. Okay? So we're moving on to the moon. So his moon is in... Yeah, that's one thing about Libras. Shout out to the Libras. You don't fool me. You never fool me. I'm going to you. It's not going to happen. And if you're a Libra, it's perfectly fine. And they also rule the law, which means they would talk to the police, more than likely. The reason why they would talk to the police is because they actually represent the law and justice. And because they represent justice, or injustice. They can't play both sides. You have to remember this with a Libra. They will play both sides, okay? They will. They will play both sides. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So one of the things that you can do with the Libra is you got the ability to be just as tactful as they are. If you know that you're dealing with a two-faced, underhanded, shady Libra, you know what I'm saying, that'll smile in your face, you know, if they need a smile in your face, you know what I'm saying, and then flip-flop on you and turn against you, more than likely they will go talk to the police. This is just fair warning for you guys dealing with these Libras. Usually they will talk to the police. I'm just letting you know that. And the reason why they'll talk to the police is because they represent the law and they represent justice or injustice. And just because you talk to the police doesn't mean that you're righteous. It just means that you're playing the game. Some people play dirty. You know what I mean? So when you talk about the streets, just because a person, you know, y'all call them snitches. Y'all call them snitches. We'll leave it at that. And there was a movie called Deep Cover. See, when you go undercover, there's times where you'll be so deep undercover that you can't even, it's crimes that are being committed that the police are very aware of, but they can't even say anything about it. So when it comes to law enforcement, you don't know how deep their cover is. You know, when you talk about detectives and people that go undercover, they could be undercover for years. They could live a life of being an informant. So there's always an informant around. You know what I mean? So these are the type of connections that you have to be wary of when you're dealing with certain people because of the energy that they carry. I don't know about the informant, but I will tell you that the FBI will pay you for information. You can actually be an informant for the FBI and you will be compensated if the information that you can provide is valid. And what you all need to know is that there are many, many informants that will smile in your fucking face and the whole time we're recording you. Alright, so I got it back up. So here we go. We're going to go back. Now, the cool thing about him is his moon is in Aries. So he has an axis. I mean, he has so you got to remember, this Libra and Aries are polar opposites. Okay, so they complement. The opposite of Libra is Aries. Oh shoot! Let's add up that number real quick, y'all. Hold on a second. 22 plus 7 plus 4 plus 7. 21. So the sun. Matter of fact, I'm gonna write this down. So his sun is the number. So the degree is 27 degrees 47 minutes, but the actual number breaks down to the number 3. So I'm gonna write that number down. It breaks down to the number 3. So hold on, let me write that one. Let me do it one more time. 2 plus 7 plus 4 plus 7. No, maybe, hold on. Make sure I'm adding this up right. Yep, no, it's 20. My bad. 20. So his sun is the number 2. Oh, another thing I want to tell you. 1 is yes and 2 is no. In the ethers, when you see a 2, you can always, a 2 will let you know no, right? 1 is yes and 2 is no, right? So now let's move on to the moon. All right. Okay, so the sun is carrying the 2 energy. Okay, so let's remember that. Now the moon is the 4, is carrying the 4 energy. And let's look at the degree. Okay, so the degree for the moon is 5 degrees 44. So let's go look that up real quick. Okay, so a little bit about Aries. Remember I told you Aries is ruled by Mars, and it's the god of war. So anytime you see Aries, this is going to be like head first energy, thinking head first energy. Okay, head first energy. This energy is kind of a little rough. It's not refined. Okay, so let's look that up real quick. 5. All right, interpretation. The person influenced by this degree is meant to dominate others. Extreme circumstances put him or her in the highest positions, which is not devoid of a danger, right? Although many disasters are experienced, one remains undisturbed and pursues the challenging path. This degree indicates that one belongs to a powerful and wealthy family. If all royal descent and this degree is in conjunction with the ascendant, this heralds that one will access the throne. It is one of modest origins. One enjoys the protection of the head of state or that of most prominent figures. There's also the possibility that one becomes the power behind the throne. In any case, one has real decision-making powers and becomes a leader in one's field, be it arts, politics, or business. I'm going to read that one more time. So this, when we are interpreting the degrees, right? What you're doing is, if you're born at a specific degree, it's certain things that you're privy to. So for him, it's already written, so that this indicates that he belongs to a powerful, wealthy family. Okay, and also he has the ability to make power decision making, like power decisions, and becomes a leader. So what does that mean? It means that, okay, so when you look at like Yellow Breezy, right, he kind of to me he has like a little baby face. So you may underestimate him. You may not assume that he could be as he may exude a little bit more control and power just by the way his face looks. And he also has connections to people that are in high places or that are able to maybe protect him because of who they are. So he enjoys the protection of the head of state or the most prominent figures. So he's associated with people that can give him some level of protection that maybe some people can't receive. All right. I guess the question will be, who is the head of state? Who is the head of state? Who is the head of state? Who is the head of state that's connected to him? Who is the head of state that's connected to this guy? Prominent figures, politicians, preachers, council members. I don't know, like first, second, third cousin. Somebody could be connected to him that has a high place in politics. So you have to remember that Libras are social individuals, and Aries are actually very social as well. Aries is very social. So I guess the question is, who is he related to? Who in his family is a politician, council member, or something to do with some type of institution? That could be a family member. That could be that works with academia, like in the school system or something. Or a doctor. A doctor. Aries represents the head, the actual head. So his mind, his mind thinks like an Aries. Even though he's a Libra, he's going to think like an Aries. And the Aries is head first. Head first. Everything that they do is head first. Head first. So an Aries always is directed towards the head. So y'all go back and think about something to do with the head. What is he connected to that has something to do with the actual head? Aries is connected to the head. Which means that they will be more vulnerable to concussions. Concussions. So a lot of times his method of okay, you guys. So one thing. So I'm gonna tell y'all. If I'm studying your birth chart, right, and I need to go to, and I need to strategize. Like Like if I'm studying charts, and if I'm studying, like let's say I'm studying I'm just studying your chart, and I need to know how you're going to like move. Like, what's your methods of movement? I would tell you this off the break. He's going to try to hit you in your head because that's how his mind works. An Aries thinks like this. They want blows to the head. All of this tiptoeing around. He's going to try to hit you in your head, your actual skull. That's how Aries is going to. That's their immediate thing is to knock you out. Like if an Aries is fighting you, right? If they want to go to war with you, if they want to fight you, they are going to try to do a one-hitter quitter. Okay, they're not see a Libra. See, this is how he can fool you because he can come off very like innocent. His face looks a little bit more childlike, right? He could just come off like just from the naked eye, like he wouldn't hurt a fly, right? That's that Libra energy, kind of like I'm not gonna hurt a fly, but no. The opposite energy of Libra is Aries. So a Libra is very, very familiar with Aries energy. So this is why you gotta look to your opposite energy because you're familiar with that and you can use your opposite energy. You can use it. So for him, yeah, he can look charming, but I would tell you this: he's going to try to hit you in your head. So you guys can go back and think about anybody that was hit in their head. Anybody that was connected to him that has been hit in their head. And the moon and Aries, he's going to think kind of. He'll be the first person to do things like in his family. He could be because Aries is kind of like the sun is exalted in Aries, so the moon is in detriment in Aries. So the moon doesn't like Aries. When I say it doesn't like Aries, it's just a little bit more difficult for the moon to like operate. So what does that mean for him? He might have issues with how he's able to control his environment. Okay. So what happens with a Libra is if because they oversee relationships, they can have chaos in their environment. So because there's so many people that will be around Libra and Aries, this energy pulls in lots of people because it's a social energy. So, but the catches with Libras and Aries is they can get caught up because if they're not able to control the environment, they're going to have people that are going to go rogue. And that could be what's going on with him. He may have people that are going rogue because he has to control the environment. And if he's not able to control the environment, that's when things will go left. So how do you control the environment? What's the easiest way to control people? The easiest way to control people is money. That's just what it is. People will be loyal to you as long as you're paying them. Now, if somebody didn't get paid or somebody's not getting paid like they used to, what would a person do? They will flip on you. And that's usually how Libras get fucked over. Usually Libra is going to get fucked over or Aries is going to get fucked over. It's because there's going to be an issue where one of the people that's in his environment, either two things. This is how you also can this is how you can get a Libra. You can bribery. So if you know that the Libra is basically or Aries, because both of them can kind of do this shit. But usually the Aries can get brought out. Usually you can buy an Aries out. You can buy them with money, right? A Libra usually is going to give the money if need be. But they'll pick like how they're going to disperse money. If a Libra is trying to give you money, it's simply for control. The question is, do you want to be controlled by a Libra? That's what you have to ask yourself. Do you want to be controlled by a Libra? Because that's how they're going to seek dominance, is through money. Okay, you guys, so one of the things that we're looking at with the Libra is money will be used for control. It's easy to control people with money. Most people, you can buy them out. But the catch with a Libra is how you can beat the Libra is you just buy their people out. So that's how you do it. You just buy their people out. Because they will have they will have a group of people around them. Because Libra is a boss. It's a boss energy. It's a cardinal energy. So they are leaders. They are leaders and they are bosses. The thing is that usually they're trying to buy you, so it may not be genuine. They just need you for specific tasks. That's what they're going to pay you for. They will be very specific about what it is that they need you to do. So at least you'll know with a Libra what your tasks are. So they're task oriented. So a Libra will pay you. So you can just buy basically you buy their employees out. You buy their employees out and you just pay their employees more money. and then they'll flip because Libra represents imbalance. It represents the scales of people going from one side to another. So with a Libra, you'll kind of see how things will fluctuate with them, and their power is money. Okay, their power is how they use money, how they will use money, and they use it to to basically get people to do stuff for them. That's basically what they do. They're not going to do it themselves. They're going to have somebody else do it, because nobody believes that the Libra would ever do anything like that because they know how to fool people. It's just the way it is. You guys. So yeah. So look for that. Look for the employees. There are employees. There are employees that are on the payroll. That is a guarantee. Also, part of the strategy is to hit you in your fucking head. Okay? That's also part of the strategy is to hit you in the head. We're going to go to the next one, which is Mercury. So Mercury rules communication. Mercury. It's going to tell you how the person communicates. It's going to tell you their communication style. It's also going to tell you about dictatorship and how they're able to use communication to get what they want. Okay? So his Mercury is in Scorpio, and it's in the 11th house, which means that he's going to be communicating to the masses. Anytime you see any planet in the 11th house, and that's ruled by Saturn or Aquarius, okay? Aquarius is the collective. So he will be communicating with the collective, but let's look at the degree. So the degree is at 9 degrees 39 seconds. So let's go ahead and interpret that one. 9 degrees, and it's in Scorpio, which means he will be communicating like a scorpion. And scorpions can use various tactics to be secret. There's a secrecy about him, because Scorpio doesn't like to tell people what they're doing. So there's a part of him where he may not even really be talking like that. He might talk more in his music, but he may be a little bit more quiet. Also, Scorpio can represent delays. Sometimes Scorpios could deal with learning disabilities. And when I say a learning disability, like speech impediments, a speech impediment, stuttering, things like that. So growing up, he could have stuttered a whole lot, or he could have had a speech impediment. He could have been behind in his reading. I know he boxes and stuff, so he could have used boxing or something to kind of get out some of his aggressions. He may hold a lot of things in. There's certain things that he doesn't tell people. But again, Scorpio is very, very secretive, and sometimes the way they communicate is they don't communicate at all. They're not going to tell. They may not like to talk to people like that. They're quiet. And I'm talking about the kind of interpersonal relationships. I'm not talking about you communicating like because you making music or you communicate when you're outside. Because Scorpio can do that. They can be kind of like when they go out in public, they can charm you. They can grab an audience, kind of like that mysterious way about them. But behind closed doors, they could be very, very kind of a little bit more solitude. Also, he might like noises like some people like what they call it, like white noise. So he might like fans or something always running or something always going. Because Scorpio, they have a lot of stuff on their mind. Sometimes what a Scorpio will do is they will kind of try to block out sound. So they'll use other sounds. They'll use certain sounds to block out what's going on in their brain. So for him, he could be blocking out, he could use certain sounds to block out things that's going on that he doesn't necessarily want to think about. And we know that there's a lot of things to think about because there's a lot of people around him, and he has a very large payroll. Just to let you know that as well, there is a payroll. All right, so we're gonna look up we're gonna now interpret the ninth degree of Scorpio. Okay, we're gonna interpret the ninth degree of Scorpio. Okay. A man wears a mask in the disguise of metaphysicalis. So the representation of the ninth degree of Scorpio is cheerful, clever, and elusive character. One is highly skilled in simulation and manipulation, keeps one's objectives carefully concealed beneath merry and helpful attitudes. This degree indicates a brilliant success as a diplomat, an actor, or any occupation involving the design and manufacturing of costumes. Okay, so when it comes to the ninth degree of Scorpio, if you so happen to have a planet that sits at the ninth degree of Scorpio, you know, that planet may come out with specific characteristics. So, of course, cheerful, clever, elusive, so he can kind of mask, make you think that he's so innocent, right? One is highly skilled in simulation and manipulation and keeps his true intentions concealed beneath a smile on his face with a great attitude. You know, people that got that sinister smile. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay? So remember that. Elusive character, highly skilled in simulation and manipulation. Now, what is the actual, if you want to know what simulation is, all right, simulation is the ability to trick you to a certain extent. Simulation is pretending, it could be deception, you know, that's what a simulation is. So clever, right? So when we think about clever, usually we how do you associate clever? Clever usually is associated with some form of oh, you're clever. You know, what do you associate clever with? All right. So yeah, that's him. Clever. He's clever. He's a simulator. He's a manipulator. He has he knows how to be. See, I'm trying to tell y'all about these Libras and these Scorpios. Listen, they so good at this. It's crazy. That's why I like a Libra. All you gotta do is go straight at them. Go straight to their dome piece. Go straight to their dome piece, because the Libra is so strategic. It doesn't matter if you get into it with a Libra. They will get into it with you. You can fight a Libra. But if there's a task, they still will come back to the very person that they had an altercation with. They will do that. You know why? Because they know that what they need involves you. So once a Libra realizes that they need you for some involvement, it wouldn't matter if that motherfucker it doesn't matter about if a Libra, if you get into it with a Libra, that shit don't matter. You can get into it with them. As a matter of fact, you got to get into it with them. You got to fight a Libra. It's the only way that they are going to respect you. If you sit there and kiss their asses, you know, when they play these little mind fuckery games with you and charm people into a bunch of bullshit, and once they get angry with you and they don't get their way, they will turn on you. They will turn on you when they don't get their way. which means that you have to have a defense with them. Hence, this is why Libra rules the scales. This is why Libra rules the judicial system, right? So you're playing with the police. I need you to get y'all to get that through y'all thick head when you fucking with these Libras. You are playing with the police, okay? Because they rule the law. Okay. Oh, what's the number? What does the number break down to? Let's see. So whoever's listening to this is just information for you to use to go and put the pieces together. Okay. All right, hold on 1 second. Let's add that number up real quick. 9 plus 3 plus 9. Okay. Mercury is 21. The degree breaks down to number 21, which is the number 3. Okay. So 2 is money. The number 2 is connected to Taurus. And Taurus is money. Number 4 is connected to Saturn. And Saturn is connected to karma and time. And number 3 is connected to Mercury, and Mercury is communication. And also, 3 is a number of sacrifice. Okay, remember that as well about 3 when you're using the word, the letter, the number 3. All right, let's move on to the next one. So his Venus is in Virgo. All right, so Venus is in Virgo. So how does he love? Now we're going to talk about the type of women that he likes. So his Venus is in Virgo, so he likes Virgos. He likes Virgo energy. Okay, he likes Virgo energy. Virgo women, or women that have some Virgo energy. So you gotta remember, when you look at your Venus, it kind of tells you what you're going to be attracted to. It tells you, what type of man or woman, what type of energy you like. So for him, he likes Virgos. Virgo women can be quiet. Virgo women are very beautiful. Virgo women can be passive. A lot of times people underestimate Virgo women. They know how to play the game. They know how to be submissive. They can have a giddy laugh. Like, that's a Virgo woman. Very innocent. So men can be easily enticed by a Virgo woman because she knows how to be very kind of innocent, virgin, like, oh, don't touch me like that. Oh, I wouldn't do it, such a thing. I wouldn't do anything like that. The whole time, the Virgo woman will pull the trigger on you. Right? So let's go into this. Right? So Venus is actually, so what would that say? Let's look at the degree of the Virgo woman. Well, his Venus in Virgo. So it's at 7 degrees 44. No, it's at 11 degrees 49. All right, so let's go look up that. Let's get that information. So what does that say? He likes Virgo women. Okay? Pretty, very, very pretty. Very beautiful. Soft voice, very soft voice. Usually kind of like sultry voice. Voice could be sultry. And this woman, specific woman, could be a Virgo women they can be kind of hard. And when I say hard, sometimes you can't live up to the expectations of a Virgo woman. Sometimes they can have very high expectations. And when I say high expectations, if you deal with a Virgo woman, they can be very critical, and they can tell you like it is, and they can basically hurt your feelings. So when you meet the Virgo, a man can be so enthralled by a Virgo woman. Like, they can just like fall to a Virgo woman because they think that she's just so innocent. She just looks so like touchable and feminine, right? Just very fine and just misty, like like a misty energy, right? So they'll come into a Virgo woman as if she's gonna kind of just fall right into his hands. But usually, what you'll find out with a Virgo woman is she will put you in your place. She's gonna tell you exactly what she feels, and it could be come to a surprise with a man because you assume that a woman that is very pretty and very sensitive and very soft and very dainty wouldn't have that much power. But Virgo women hold a lot of power. You have to be very aware of a Virgo woman.
Just the right crunch to silence the Sunday scaries.
Because they do hold a lot of power. And part of their power is the fact that they're so good at just enticing people. So a Virgo, you could use a Virgo woman to entice other people to come towards you. So there could be a woman that he uses to entice people because it's easy to entice the Virgo. And because his Venus is in Virgo, he understands that energy. So I would say that he has a Virgo woman around him, someone with Virgo energy that kind of can entice someone, pull them in, pull in multiple people, have men bowing down on her knees, worshiping her. Most of the time, with some of these men will just bow down to the Virgo, and he'll use the Virgo to get information because it'd be so easy for a Virgo woman to pillow talk with these ninjas. A Virgo woman can pillow talk with a man, and he would tell all of his business. And another thing about Virgos are because they're ruled by Mercury, they're in Gemini, and Gemini and Virgo are like brothers, are like siblings in the zodiac. So these two signs right here, if you see a Gemini around, you see a Virgo around, trust me when I tell you, don't let the motherfucking foolery fool you. See, a Virgo, they kind of a little bit more quiet, so they'll fool you like they innocent. They're collecting information, okay? They will collect information. See, this is how the Gemini will fool you, with a bunch of clatter. So what happens is with the Gemini, and I'm going to talk about Gemini for a little bit, because Gemini and Virgo are siblings in the zodiac. They're siblings ruled by Mercury. These two signs have the ability to go to Hades. They're master communicators. The difference is with Virgo is it's an earth sign. So what they'll do is they play with people. A Virgo can play into your likes, wants, and needs because it's so fucking easy to do, right? So usually y'all love the Virgo. The whole time the Virgo is collecting the information on you. They so good at it. They'll get all the information. So it'll be so easy for a Virgo to get information. It's absolutely ridiculous how much information they can get. If you need to get information, go get you a Virgo and a Gemini. The way they do it may be a little different because usually the Virgo is getting information because the people that they're talking to, a Virgo also can play ditzy. So a woman that's a Virgo, she can play the ditzy role on you. And when I say the ditzy role, she'll play like she's not as smart as you think she is. That's not saying that that's not saying that she thinks people think she's stupid, but you don't know that the Virgo is a fucking nerd. Like they're really, really intelligent. Like they can process information, right? So the Virgo woman can kind of come in a little bit more airy, ditzy, like and you underestimate her logic, right? And she done got all the information. Now the Gemini, usually people like Virgos. They'll get tricked by a Virgo because they like the Virgo, right? They'll like the Virgo. She'll come in real sweet, bat her eyes. Virgo women always bat their eyes, bat their eyes, just look so cute and innocent, right? Now the Gemini, okay, she's cute too. He's cute, but he's a little bit more noisy. He's got a little bit more clatter. So the Gemini, people don't take the Gemini serious because they don't know what the Gemini are talking about. But both of these signs, all they're doing is disseminating information. You have to remember this when you're dealing with the Gemini and the Virgo. These motherfuckers, all they are doing is getting information. They are like human encyclopedias. They are like a walking book. Okay? There's nothing that you're going to get past a Gemini or a Virgo. Now, the question is, what are their motives? Let me tell y'all something. Gemini is the light one. The Virgo is the one that's the dark one. But usually the people are not going to like the Gemini, but it's really the Virgo. Okay, so we know for him, there's a Virgo somewhere lurking around, looking real pretty. Probably can pillow talk with these ninjas. He can send a Virgo, or he using that energy. He using the energy of beautiful women to get information, sending them out in different spaces to get information, just to kind of check up on some things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, this person does have a payroll. He does pay people. Why? Because he can do that. Why? Because people need money and they're willing to do anything for a little bit of change. They will do something strange for some change. And guess what, Libra News? You can give them some money and they will do something strange for some change. Okay, so let's go to that degree so we can see exactly what that energy is going to do at the 11th degree of Virgo. And that's the master number. Okay. All right, here we go. A wealthy man and woman, blindfolded and led by Cupid. In their back, two thieves are about to rob them. So at the 11th degree of Virgo, this interpretation, a wealthy man and woman, blindfolded, are led by Cupid. In their back, two thieves are about to rob them. That's what degree he sits on it, his Venus. So, what does that mean? A wealthy man and a woman, blindfolded, are led by Cupid, who was a wealthy man and who was a wealthy woman that possibly could have been kidnapped, robbed, right? Cupid holds the arrow. Who stabbed somebody in the back? There is a couple somewhere. There is a actual couple somewhere that was robbed and stabbed in their back. And the question is, who? Who's this wealthy man and who's this woman that were blindfolded? And someone robbed them. So the question is, was there a man that was with a woman? Then they took the woman, or that woman was there? Did that woman act like she was part of it? You know, when a man gets set up, if you get robbed, they'll act like they're robbing both of you. So the person, this woman could have played like she was part of, like she was a victim. She had to look like she was a victim. But in essence, she was part of the robbery. Something could have happened where someone was robbed. And there's a woman that actually played victim to carry out, to get this money from this man. Pay attention. 11 degrees Virgo is a master number, so we're going to let it stay at 11. So the Venus in Virgo is at 11. So this Venus in Virgo is at 11. So that lets us know that there's a mysterious woman around. And that also lets us know that this woman may be involved with other men. And it also lets us know that there could be something going on where a woman is being used to gather information, right? And if need be, crimes could be committed and she would be part of, like she's a victim to mask herself. Let's move on to the next planet. All right, the next planet is Mars. Mars is in Scorpio. So you got to remember, you guys. Okay, now you got this Scorpio energy. So Mars is in Scorpio. So this is another god of war. This is another god of war. This is another guy that can go to war. His Mars in Scorpio, which means he will be a sniper. I'm talking about snipers, people that you can't see, people that are sitting on top of rooftops. You know, Scorpio represents the person that's on top of a rooftop with a scope. He might like scopes. Some of his guns may have those little scopes on there with those red dots. That's Scorpio. Yeah, how many guns does he have with a scope? How many hitters does he have? How many, what we want to call them, the people. But anyway, you know the people that are sit on top of a rooftop and they got one of them guns that's a scope with a magnifying glass, and it could be on a 50, they could be on a 20-story building, and they got that gun, and they could look down on the street, and they could look down right on the street, and they could pop you, and nobody will ever know. That's Scorpio. You'll never know. You'll never ever know. That's why I said before, that person might not get caught. You smarter than what y'all think. Strategic. Okay, so let's go. Mercury's in Scorpio, which means that's gonna make me think about a sniper, a scope. Okay, so let's go back and put the degree in there. It's at the 3 degrees 19. So Mars is in Scorpio at 3 degrees. So let's go to the 3rd degree. Let's see what's going on with that. Right, people? Okay, 3rd degree. A wreath of laurel is hung on a harpsichord. Violins, painting palette, and brushes are laying on a nearby table. So that energy is calm, generous, and caring, endowed with great artistic gifts. All forms of art are very favored, especially music, but also poetry, dance, painting, and the seminar. Success and universal fame are achieved through artistic disciplines. So again, when we look at the degrees, the degrees have a description. So for the 3rd degree, he's at 3. For the 3rd degree, is validating, his gifts. So the thing is, with him, he has the talent, like far as the artistic things, right? Being artistic, but that's starting to make me think he may be connected to someone that buys and sells art, like an artist, like people that buy and sell art. That's very expensive. That's a very lucrative business. Also, you have to go back to people that steal. You may have a person that knows where to go to steal artwork, or has a connection to auctions or something like that, like an auction. People that go to auctions. So that's making me think that there's a connection to something that has to do with a gallery, like a art gallery or something. So maybe one of his family members that are, because you gotta go and remember, he's connected to, let's say, some I don't want to say elites, but his family, his connections are connected to people that do have influence. So there may be a family member that also he could have been in training with, and he may be, there could be a part of him where he promotes like a nonprofit or something that has something to do with like poetry and the arts and theater and things like that. There's a family member, somebody that he's connected to that oversees that, and they actually have the connection, maybe to movie making, someone that knows someone to make movies. Yeah, so that's what that is. Moving on to the next degree. All right, so the next planet is Jupiter, and again, Jupiter is in Virgo. So Jupiter, that could be. We can look at Jupiter like. I remember, I'm reading this chart for social connections. I'm not reading this chart. There's many ways to interpret the chart. I'm reading this chart to find out where his social connections are in the public. Okay, and the planets to tell you how these things are projected. So his Jupiter is in Virgo, and Jupiter represents expansion, right? Anywhere that you see Virgo, that's like a magnifying glass. You can expect for things to be expanded, right? And it's in Virgo. So what does that tell us? That it pops up again. That Virgo could he could have given this Virgo a bunch of money, like a lot of money, because wherever you see Jupiter, that means expansion. Okay. Also, Jupiter is where you see your luck. So for him, dealing with that Virgo energy is beneficial to him. And the reason why it's beneficial is because it's a little bit more elusive, right? Because Virgo can be somewhat hidden as well. So for his endeavors, a Virgo, they like money. All you got to do is pay them. And if he's dealing with beautiful people, he may have some beautiful people around him that have the ability to really, really, really. I don't know why pillow talking keeps coming back to me. Or they could be pillow talking with him, and they got a lot of information as well. He could be vulnerable to a Virgo. So his profile could actually be a Virgo. As good as it could be with the Virgo, he has to be careful because the Virgo has so much information on him that it could be beneficial or it could be detrimental, which means he has to keep the Virgo on his payroll. So who's going to get the most out of him? It's probably going to be the Virgo. Only because Venus and Jupiter in Virgo, and Venus has everything to do with contracts and money, and Jupiter has everything to do with luck and expansion. So if he wants his money to be expanded, he has to he's kind of beholden to the Virgo, so good luck with that. So let's look at 7 degrees, right? 7 degrees Virgo. A man seated at the foot of a tree at the edge of the forest admires the surrounding landscape and a tower on the hill. Contemplative, straightforward, generous, one is deeply attracted to beauties of nature and is driven by noble ideals. Success can be achieved in all occupations connected with nature, such as alpinism, botany. One enjoys solitude, the most preferable for her to live in some remote, quiet place. All right, so let's go back to that Virgo. So remember, Cancer and Virgo, this is witch energy. So when I say witch energy, Virgos, yeah, they can cast and they can write spells. So they know how to write stuff. So yeah, there's the Virgo around now. Now, they also probably study probably into herbs or something like that. Something along the lines of like a herbologist or something. She like nature and she like flowers. Stuff like that. Flowers. Flower gardens. Their meeting place. They can meet like at a flower garden. Like I don't know, like maybe like a nursery or something like that. Meeting places could be in nurseries, like places that are like where you would buy flowers and things like that. So people when they meet in inconspicuous places that you wouldn't assume that they would go meet. So for some reason that's coming to me, meeting people, like plant nurseries, flower nurseries, places where there's a lot of flowers. flower power, places where there are a lot of flowers, gardens, beautiful gardens. There may be a place in Dallas that could be like a garden space where, like they have those beautiful gardens where you could just walk around like a maze. That would be a great place to meet. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Flowers. Somebody's meeting somebody in places where they have a lot of flowers. Okay, so we're gonna move to the next one. All right, so the next one is Saturn and Aquarius. All right, so Saturn Aquarius, what this is going to deal with is time. This deals with karma, lessons. What lessons will he learn? How much time can we have on Earth, right? So this Saturn is in Aquarius. What does that mean? Well, Aquarius is the evil genius. Aquarius is the evil genius. Is my interpretation that Aquarius is the Antichrist, for lack of a better word. Aquarius is opposite of Leo. So what does that tell me? That all of his karma has something to do with large groups of people. Karmic roles, karmic ties are going to play out in the collective. Everybody's going to know about his karma. Everybody is going to know his personal business. His personal business will be put in the limelight. Everybody will know his personal business. Aquarius rules. Let's see the body part. Hold on 1 second. All right. So what do y'all know about Aquarius? Hold on 1 second. This is going to tell you where he's going to get injured. Most of his injuries are going to be. Hold on. 1 second, y'all. So Aquarius rules the ankles, the shins, the ankles, the calves, and the circulatory system. It has something to do with your blood. So what does that mean? So when you study for Saturn and you study karma, for lack of a better word, your body also will show you where your karma is. So you want to look to certain body parts. So whatever planet Saturn is in, you want to find out the body parts that are ruled, that planet rules. So for Aquarius, it's the shins, the calves, the ankles, and the circulatory system. What does that mean? Injuries probably are going to occur in his ankles, his shins, and circulatory, which has something to do with the blood. Low blood, there could be issues of brain, so your circulatory system, right? Why am I bringing up the circulatory system? Because I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. Hold on a second. The circulatory system. Sorry. What is the function of the circulatory system? It's the pumps blood from the heart to the lungs to get oxygen. Does he have asthma? Does he have a breathing condition? Does something happen where he had something to do with his ability for the heart to pump? Has someone ever caved his chest in? Has his chest been caved in before? So the heart, so a lot of times his chest is vulnerable. So his chest will be a little bit more vulnerable. And there could be an issue where maybe growing up he could have dealt with, asthma or something to do with breathing, not being able to breathe properly. Also, his arteries. So, he just has to be careful with that. So yeah, and then the knees. So I'm sure that he probably, if you wanted to go with him, his shin. So let's say he a boxer, right? Or you fighting a person. He got his knees might be a little bit more vulnerable. Um, his knees are vulnerable. Um, yeah, that's where his vulnerability is in his knees, and he could probably have scars and whatnot all over his legs. Um, so yeah. So when it comes to Saturn and the collective and karma, that just means that he has to live out all of his karmas. Everything will be put in the open for everybody to see. Everything will be put in the open. There will be no secrets. There will be no like whatever is in the dark. What Saturn is going to do is, because this is where his karma is at, Saturn is going to literally put every last thing that he has to, all of his karmic debt, Saturn is going to put everything in the public. Everything will be in the public eye. Everything. I'm talking about everything. Okay? And it's at 0 degrees. So let's go to Saturn. Let's look up this degree so we can see exactly how it's going to play out. Okay, you guys? And that means it's at a critical degree. It's right there. 0 degrees Aquarius. A wreath of laurel is hanging at the junction of 2 crossed swords. Independent, refined, courageous character. Success is achieved in all occupations of life. Such as fencing or the military, diplomacy, art, literary view, as well as the bar. Also, one enjoys sustainable fame. One is unlikely to become very wealthy unless one marries a wealthy person. This degree grants sudden riches but takes them away quickly. So let me tell y'all something about critical degrees. So 0 and 29 are critical degrees. So I don't. All I'm gonna say is this: you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. And this degree is a militant degree. It has something to do with fencing or swords. You will get sudden money, but then you could lose it. But the main thing we're looking at is sword, like the ability to fence, right? So, so there's a level of diplomacy with him where he's able to convey his messages to large groups of people. Again, I'm going back to the table. When we say large groups of people, we need to use that in context. It could be a room of 10 people. It could be a room of 5 people. Right? But that's an open group where everybody knows the same information. Okay? Everybody knows the same information. So he has to have a level of diplomacy where he's able to make people want to listen to him, make people believe in him and trust in him, that he has the best skills. So yes, there are people, and this is the thing, is that he looks like a fucking baby. He doesn't look like that. He looks very innocent. But the inner circle of people that know him know that there's levels to this. And there is a group of people, and there could be a person that's over top of him. And because he's so diplomatic, even though we see certain things, he knows how to kind of deal with them, right? Because the question is, remember I told you, Libras take on other people's identity. So when Libras have, this is the strangest thing, people will follow Libra. I don't know what it is about them. And they follow the Libra. They will blindly follow the Libra, right? And if you go go against the Libra. The people will go against you, and they don't even know the Libra is using them. They don't even know it, and they blindly follow Libras. So a lot of times it's so easy just to send a Libra in, but people will blindly follow them. I can't explain it. It's the strangest thing ever to see the ability of a Libra to be able to pull people in, and they get them to eat out of the palm of their hands. And literally all these Libras are doing is stealing your shit. That's all they do. Taking your shit. That's it. That's it. That's all they do. That's all they do, y'all. They rock you off. If you ever pay attention to a Libra, it's always they're going to come in at the right moment. And they're going to switch it around. And they're going to take it. And they're going to rock you off right in front of your face. And then the people that go against the Libra, those people nobody likes. And you'll see how people will blindly follow the Libra. It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing to see it in real time. It's amazing to see how people blindly follow Libras. Amazing. Okay? So yes, the Libra. So his karma, Saturn, is in Aquarius. Also, we need to look at the group rate. So let me tell y'all something about Libras. They are leaders, but there's somebody else behind them. So the cardinal signs is Capricorn, Libra, Cancer. I had to put in Aries, right? So whenever you're going to find like the dictators, you got to go look for the cardinal signs. If they have a lot of cardinal energy. And I'm gonna get to the Capricorn because that's the most important piece that we have to find is the Capricorn. I don't know, y'all gotta locate this Capricorn. The Capricorn is basically gonna be telling the Libra what to do. Right? So a lot of times the Libra is a leader, but what they do is they go out to the masses and they gather people up like sheep. It's just amazing, isn't it? Amazing. Just to see how the sheep are. Most of these people are sheep, so they blindly follow people. And Libra is the easiest zodiac sign to use to get a bunch of people to follow a bunch of people. It's amazing. So if you want to go control the masses, just go find you a Libra. I'm going to get it done for you. It's that. And the whole time, they'll just be taking whatever they want to take from these people, get whatever they want to get from these people. And y'all ain't going to believe that the Libra just why? Because they have dimples. They look like little babies. They're little charming. Oh, look at the little Libras. They're so cute and they're so charming. They have dimples on their face and they're very fashion forward. Most of them. They like to dress. They got style. And I'll fall for it every single time. But the Capricorn, the Libra, give me everything. That's how it goes. But you know what? Libra is Anubis. Anubis is the underworld. Anubis weighs your heart. Libra has a job. Your job is to gather. They will put you on the scales. And they will hand you over to Capricorn. Capricorn is the devil in the tarot. Just to let you know. So what the Libra does is, that's what it does. They are the crossover. They cross you over. They send you to hell. So even if a Libra is smiling in your face, they know their duty. See, remember we go back to the Reaper. There's people out here that play out certain duties, whether you want to accept it or not. And one of the duties of the Libra is to send people to hell. Now, this might not be, you may not believe it, that there's people out here that's their actual duty is to send you to hell. They have the ability to send your happy ass to hell. And because Capricorn controls Libra to a certain extent, because Venus, Saturn is exalted in Libra. Saturn loves Libra. Saturn, it's like when Saturn, the planet Saturn is exalted in Libra, right? Which means that Saturn gives Father Time, Kronos, the devil, You know that serpent thing that's been on earth longer than Adam and Eve? The serpent was on earth before Adam and Eve. Capricorn. Yeah, that serpent. The serpent loves Libra. The scale is because what they do is they let Libra put people on the scales, right? And then depending on your heart and your motives, the Libra has the ability to move you. So trust me when I tell you, wherever there's a Libra, the Libra answers to the Capricorn. Only because the Capricorn represents the devil. Wherever you want to believe it or not, Libra, Venus is the morning star, Lucifer, the angel of light, Luciferian. Lucifer means light. Now, some people might get freaked out by this because they taught you in the Bible that the way they introduced the serpent to you was kind of more in an evil way. But the catch is that once Eve ate the apple, their eyes opened up. They could see. They could see everything. And in the scripture, it says, once Adam and Eve, bit the forbidden fruit, just like how the phones that you guys carry, those Apple phones, why do you think that the symbol for the apple it looks like it was bitten off? So pick up your iPhone right now. Pick up your iPhone. This is Libra. This is Libra. Just to let y'all know, anything to do with social interaction is Libra. Like Libra is in charge of this social media thing. Right? Look, if you have a phone case on your phone, take it off and then look at the back of your phone. If you have an iPhone, you'll see a little bite mark where the apple was bitten, right? That represents the serpent, Lucifer, the morning star, the light. Unfortunately for some people, they don't want to hear this shit. You believe Jesus is the light, the sacrifice. He said, I am the one, the light, right? I am the light, right? They said that God and the devil are one and the same. This is for y'all church-going folks. This is for y'all churchy folks. The ones that want to play church. Y'all want to be in the streets. You want to play around with the devil. Then you want to go into the lighthouse. You want to go back to church and ask God for your forgiveness after you committed your sins. But what y'all don't know is that Libra is here to weigh you. Okay, so when we think about Lucifer is the light. I hate to tell y'all this, but it's the truth. That's why everybody had a big issue about when they made the coronavirus vaccine. Part of the vaccine is a word in there where it says like Lucifer. Let me look up Lucifer in Latin. Let's do the Lucifer name in Latin. So a lot of times Lucifer means light, the light bringer. So in Latin, there is a part of the corona vaccine that glows in the dark. So the Latin name, they use it, or you have to remember medical terminology. They're going to use medical terminology. And they actually refer to this specific part of the vaccine as Luciferus, right? And that's why a lot of people are scared to take that vaccine but the name Lucifer means light. In Roman folklore, Lucifer, the light bringer in Latin. The name of the planet Venus, so another name for Venus is Lucifer. I had to tell you that because Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus, and Venus is Lucifer. which is light. Now we can attach it to evil and not evil, and the devil evil. We can go into the mythology and folklore of what Lucifer is. But speaking to layman's terms and vocabulary, Lucifer is Venus, the light bringer. Okay, it's just the way it is. So don't overthink Lucifer. Sometimes we get into some of the most demonic, evil people are actually in church. Some of the most demonic individuals that you would ever meet are actually in the church. Okay, so some people will say, I'm not afraid. When I tell you this, I've had people call me, they don't know me, but they may say, oh, they try to joke and say, oh, I've had people try to say, oh, you're a witch. They don't even know what a witch is. Let me tell you about the word witch. The 5 W's. Who, what, when, and where. What is witch? Is a directional word. Witch is a directional word. So when you're a witch or you're witching, you're able to use the power of direction. So yes, this is for the witches, It's trendy now, but you gotta remember, you guys, we couldn't talk like this 100 years ago. We couldn't talk like this 200 years ago. Remember when they killed the witches of Salem? Those women were nature. They were into nature. They have demonized the name witch. They have demonized anything to do with the esoteric and demonized it with true light workers, right? You don't want to hear this. You're working in the image of Lucifer because it means light. You're bringing light. That's what Lucifer did. That was the first thing that the serpent did, was bring light to the human being, giving the human being ability to see. So the question is, do you even want to work in the light? People, do y'all know what y'all getting yourself into? Do you know what you're getting yourself into when you playing around with these words and these numbers? Do you know what you're invoking? Do you know what gravitational forces you're pulling towards you? So all I'm telling y'all is, when y'all deal with these Libras, you have to realize that they are ruled by Venus, and Venus is Lucifer. So you might want to get acquainted. You might want to get real acquainted how Lucifer operates and what the duties of Satan are. See, we're in, as we would say, hell on earth. If you're here on earth, this is Lucifer's playground. This is Lucifer's playground. This is his domain, but he does listen to God. So whatever, this is why some people are protected, because at the end of the day, you do have some. So let's think about the word light workers, right? You have people say, oh, I'm a light worker. I'm a light worker. I'm a light worker. I carry the light. I carry the light. Well, that means that you're a serpent. That means you're in serpent energy. That means that you're a snake, right? You carry the light. You carry a light in a very dark place. So when Adam and Eve seen that they were naked, they hurried up and wouldn't put clothes on. Some people don't want to be naked. They don't want you to see them naked, right? All praises to the Most High. So yeah, there's a lot of workers around here. And one of the things with the serpent is, if they can see a snake sees vibrations and colors. So when you in snake energy, serpent energy, what you seeing are vibrations, like a snake. Now we're moving on to Uranus. Now this is where it's going to get fun, because now we did the inner planets. Now we're going to do the outer planets, and this is going to tell us a little bit more about his social network and who's around him and what their duties are, okay? We're going to take a slight break and give me like 2 minutes, you guys, all right? Okay, so now we're going on to, let's get into the outer planets. So what the outer planets would do is kind of tell you how your relationships are going to be with the public, the masses. These are generational planets, right? So you share these planets with a generation: Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. So with Pluto, these planets take a lot longer. So it takes us 365 days, give or take, to do a full revolution around the sun. Okay, so the outer planets, these are generational planets, because it takes, let me see, Uranus, it takes, I think Uranus 15 years to go around the sun. Hold on, let's make sure we get the right information. So yes, a little bit more about Lucifer, because I need y'all to focus on that, especially for the Tauruses and the Libras. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink that, because when you go outside, you can always see Venus. Venus is always looking at the moon. If you want to locate Venus, if it's a clear night, whatever, you're going to see a bright star, and that star is Venus, and that star is always looking at the moon. That's Venus. You can go out and see the planets. Go out there and study these planets so you can know where they're at. Okay, so we gotta remember that the Latin term for Venus is Lucifer. The actual planet is Lucifer. And that planet represents the light barrier, bringing in the light, the morning star. Okay? The shining one. Now, I don't know why in Christianity, they call it the devil, but Capricorn is actually the devil. Okay, it represents the devil, right? And there's something called heaven or hell, for metaphors. So there is a place in hell. There is a place in hell for what we want to consider it to be. And hopefully, I don't know if you want to go to hell. You guys. So the question is, Libra, what is up with you guys, like, with this whole, what is your purpose here, Libra? Obviously, your purpose was to bring in the light. So that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be evil. But what you'll notice about Libras is there is a dark side to them. And for what you guys consider to be a dark side. Because a Libra can see both sides to anything. Anything. They can go back and forth, 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 back and forth. They can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, one of the typical things they say is a Libra can't make up their mind. It's not that they can't make up their mind. They literally can't understand both sides to something, like a Gemini to a certain extent. They can rationalize why something is the way it is on both sides. And because of that, they will play out both sides and they won't feel guilty about it. There will be no guilt. You gotta remember, Libras are logical beings. They really don't have any feelings. Yeah, they're nice and charming, but for real, they're logical and they don't really have a lot of emotions, which means that they basically can be a cold-hearted motherfucker. Let's get back to the next planet. We're going into Uranus. So you gotta remember, Uranus is the X factor. Uranus is like electricity, like electromagnetic, like shocks, like how much electricity do you carry? It's a quirky energy as well. So Uranus co-rules Aquarius. So Saturn and Uranus kind of go hand in hand with Capricorn and Aquarius. Okay. So what we want to do is look at where that degree. So it's at 1016. Let's go interpret 1016, 10 degree to 16 in Capricorn. A king on his throne greets a messenger who brings a sealed scroll. So what would that mean? That would mean that, remember I told you about this Capricorn. A sealed scroll. So we know a scroll is a piece of paper. And, when they say like the scrolls, it's paper. It's something that was written. So there's a person that did possibly bring him some sealed documents. Well, of course, we get sealed documents all the time. Okay, so remember I went back and I told you, Capricorn also rules the government and military. Capricorn is the government, like the Capitol, like the House of Representatives and the Senate. That's Capricorn, right? So that means that, like I told you, it's a politician, somebody that holds, or somebody that holds public office. There could be like some payrolls, what we call kickbacks. There could be kickbacks, and you could be privy to some information when it comes to kickback. So you know what a kickback is, right? Let's say I'm in a position where I can get contracts. Libra rules contracts, right? usually when you get a contract, when you do contracts, they have to bid. So you got to at least get 3 estimates or 3 bids, and then you can pick. But sometimes they'll already know who they're going to pick for the bid. They just got to go through the rigmarole of securing these bids to pick the person that's going to win the contract. So usually what a kickback is, let's say me and you got an agreement. Okay, I'm going to give you the contract. I'm going to give you the business. I'm going to give you the contract to do this work. You're going to, in turn, kick back some money towards them. Hence, that's why certain companies, especially in construction, there's certain companies, they're not going to necessarily tell you how they get kickbacks, but that's like how politics work. It's through kickbacks. So, for him, his Uranus is in Capricorn, and it's at 10 degrees. So the X factor could be some person that's in, a government, or like overseas, like a bunch of like a big ass group of people, because Capricorn and Aquarius are signs that have to do with the collective. Okay? And he could have received some form of payment, and somebody paid him. But yes, and we're talking about now, we're going into the outer planets. So now I'm looking at how his relationships are with other people. So for oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all how long it takes for Uranus to go around the sun. It takes about 84 years for Uranus to do a full orbit or orbit around the sun. Okay, 84 years. That's how long it takes. So in that 84 years, Uranus is going to be going into the 12 zodiac signs. So then you can divide it. How many years would Uranus be in a specific sign? And this is why it's a generational planet, because it takes 84 years for it to do a full rotation, which means that you share this planet, you would share a sign with like a group of people, right? 84 divided by, hold on y'all, shoot, it's 7, right? So for 7 years, you'll share you'll have 7 years where a group of people are sharing certain energies. Now this is why you have to locate the actual degree, because now you can pinpoint how that energy is going to play out for you. So for the generation that has Uranus in Capricorn, that means that a lot of their X factors, a lot of the when it comes to Uranus, Uranus is weird, okay? And when I say weird, it's kind of strange. It's like different. It's odd, right? It's odd. All right, so y'all remember, y'all, Uranus is weird. So like Uranus and Neptune. I mean, not Uranus and Neptune. I mean, Cap. Uranus and Capricorn, right? Um, this is gonna kind of, you gotta remember, like right now, okay, so Breezy is 32. So that age range, like that 20, that late 20s, early mid 30s, y'all are weird as fuck. And when I say weird, all them face tattoos, like the generation, like you gotta remember, like every generation is different. So with Uranus, for it to be a generational planet, you'll see how Uranus will influence the masses. So for the Uranus and Capricorn generation, it's very satanic. It's This generation is a little bit more open with letting you know that they worship the devil, and they got a bunch of tattoos on their face per se, and it's kind of glorified about being wicked. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird, just different. So like some of the older people will look at like the late 20s, like people that's in their like late 20s, early 30s, and be like, what the fuck is going on? That's Uranus. So for him, you know, they got the power of Capricorn, so they play out satanic energy. It's a 7-year cycle with Uranus. So for the Uranus and Capricorn, they do play out satanic energy. It's, yeah, just know it. Some of these people in this generation, they definitely are playing around with rituals, and they doing seances. They doing a bunch of shit, and like just know that. Just know it. Just know that. But also we can look at the degree. So what we want to look at is 10 degrees Capricorn, which means I'm gonna tell y'all, that just makes me know that when we think about Capricorn is funny because Capricorns can be very spiritual and heavily involved in the church. Okay, Capricorn can be very heavily involved in the church. Even though Capricorn represents the devil usually spends a lot of his time in the church, and this is why you see some of the most deplorable actions that you could ever imagine happen in a church, right? And with news and media, we have the privilege now of being able to report the news, so you can see for yourself how the devil plays out in the church. So typically speaking, Capricorns will always be connected to the church. Usually Capricorns will, be involved in the church. They don't, because they really don't want to be, they trying to be the best that they can be, you know. So with that being said, because his Uranus is in Capricorn, that all already makes me assume that, there's somebody that he's connected to. It's probably in some type of place where they have, some leadership, where they can kind of oversee a large group of people. And he probably did them a couple of favors. Because he did them a couple of favors, he probably paid them off. Probably what happened. I'm not gonna go into that right now. Good. How you doing? Okay. You here to? Are you coming to work? No. You say you work for Equity? Yeah. Oh, so what you here for? What you here for? Yeah, a team building event about 5 years ago. Oh, so what you come over here for? Just to be nosy? No, I came too early, so I just wanted to come warm up over here before I go. Oh, okay. All right. You said nosy, really? Okay. Um, yeah, so so with the Capricorn, so I'm not gonna go too deep into that part, but I will tell you, more than likely somebody knows somebody that can cut checks. I'm talking about they can cut them. They can make phone calls. They can make people move. They can tell, they can put gag orders on people. He might be in charge of gag orders as well. Just getting people to shut up. Somebody got the ability, and it's not him. It's somebody else. It's just that they probably paid him to do a gag order. Um, yeah, moving right along, but I'm gonna leave that alone. So the next planet is Neptune. So you gotta remember, again, Neptune is deceit. Neptune is secrets. It's Neptune and Capricorn. Again, Capricorn goes to government, churches, large groups of people. And it's at 14 degrees. So let's go to 14 real quick. Let's see what's going on with the 14th degree of Capricorn. Okay. A man carrying a sheep on his shoulders stares at a fire burning on a tripod. Okay. Fiery, shrewd, and ambitious character. Life is most likely to be full of adventures and passion, and marked by a strong attachment to the motherland. One may be involved in political upheavals and play an important role in the history of one's country. Success can be achieved in hunting and all occupations related to animal husbandry and trade, archaeology, war, politics, or law. Okay, I want to go back to the animals. It says success can be achieved in hunting and all occupations related to animal animal husbandry. Okay, so this degree is shrewd and it's an ambitious. This person, so how would Neptune play out? Okay, so there's a person see, guys, remember these are generational planets. Neptune, he's connected to a group of people that are shrewd. Okay, they're shrewd. They might be into livestock. Livestock. Okay, livestock. They could be into livestock. Hold on one second, you guys. Give me 1 second. Let's put that in. Let's get the definition of. Let's get the definition of um, animal husbandry, so you guys can get the full context of what I'm talking about. So livestock, yeah, livestock. There's something going on with livestock. There can be an investment. Okay. Animal husbandry is the science of breeding and caring for farm animals. Okay. So somebody is probably connected to a stable, something to do with bulls or something along the lines of breeding and taking care of animals. There could be a politician. There could be, see, this is where them kickbacks are coming back. Because you got to remember, Texas, it's a bunch of bulls down there, chickens. Somebody's into the livestock industry, okay? And this could be a family thing, a family business. And this could be hidden, unseen. Someone doesn't really know the depths of this relationship that's it involves a few people, because you can't run a livestock farm by yourself. Okay? And also, you can see, yeah. Okay, so Neptune, what is that? So Neptune is in Capricorn and the degree is at 14. And 14 degrees has something to do with hunting, livestock, breeding livestock, trade, moving things. Um, and this connection that he has, these people could be very, 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 what they say, shrewd. And when someone's shrewd, And ambition, it means that they'll do anything to get to the top. They will step right over you, step on you, kick you off the ladder, right? So there's a person that is shrewd. And I keep going back to something, makes me keep going back to a some council member or some politician. Somebody got something to do with some livestock. And that person could have something to do with kickbacks, has something to do with land or something. And this young man, for whatever reason, it's deeper than just being a rapper. That's just the face. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. We're almost done, you guys. So the next one is Pluto. So Pluto is a generational planet as well. Pluto is a generational planet as well. Okay. So Pluto is in Scorpio at 11 degrees, which means a snake tries to get rid of a swarm of flies in vain. In the background, an isolated house is surrounded by a clump of trees. A snake tries to get rid of a swarm of flies in vain. In the background, an isolated house is surrounded by a clump of trees. There could be a farm somewhere. There could be a large, some land somewhere. There could be a old house somewhere, right? They could be keeping things in this house. It could be a stable. It would be easy to hide things in a barnyard. It would be easy to hide things in an open space on a farm, right? Because you can have different animals on a farm. And usually with a farm, usually they have different types of animals, and then they might have a dog. So the average person is just not going to walk on a farm. You're just not going to do it. And if it's a lot of land, you can see anybody that's coming onto the land, right? So it says reserved, obsessive, and resourceful. One is surrounded by enemies who claim compensation for an injustice. Which one was responsible for it? This is blackmail. This is blackmail. This is blackmail. This is blackmail. This degree sometimes indicates that one is haunted by the remorse for an old mistake or by some secret tragedy. So yes, it is a possibility that he could be getting blackmailed for something that he could have did previously and is haunting him. It could be remorseful for it, trying to move away from that, but like you said, your skeletons always pop back up, right? So a snake tries to get rid of a swarm of flies. Who's the snake and who are the flies? And in the background, isolated house surrounded by a clump of trees. So one would say something could have been done. There could be guilty association. And these enemies are using previous situations and outcomes to blackmail him, which means he has to pay them, right? And remember I said that eventually those people are going to turn on him, because why? Someone's going to buy them out. All right, now we're going to the North Node in Capricorn, that degree is at 13 degrees. All right, the 13th degree of Scorpio for the North Node. You got to remember the North Node is karmic points. K2 and Rahu, they are the North Pole and the South Pole of the Moon. Okay, so the North Node is at 13 degrees. Okay, so let's go find out a little bit more about 13th degree Scorpio. Under a flowery arbor, a group of cheerful guests have a feast. Water overflows from a well adorned with beautiful roses. Now, what did I tell you guys? I said that his Venus was in Virgo and that there might be a beautiful woman that he gets information from or he pillow talks with, or this woman has the ability to go in and out of different rooms because she's so beautiful. She could be mystic, she could be quiet, a little bit more dainty, very feminine energy, you know, what they say, indifferent. People wouldn't, unassuming, when someone's unassuming, right? And I said something about someone could be meeting people in I said someone could be meeting in planet, what's they call it, gardens, or when you go to the flower store where there's a bunch of flowers, or there could be a beautiful, let me look up gardens in Dallas real quick. Let's look up gardens in Dallas. You know those places like those mansions and stuff where they have like these beautiful gardens and you could just, the Arboretum. Oh shit, the Arboretum. The Dallas Arboretum of Botanical Gardens. Someone could be walking through the Botanical Gardens. This may be a place where they meet at, the Botanical Gardens in Dallas, right? Thank you for that. So, yes, arbors, gardens, things of that nature. There's another garden called a woman's garden. Now, the Dallas Arboretum is a beautiful place and it's on the water, right? And it's huge. So you could kind of be there, walk around, kind of be a little inconspicuous, right? So if you guys have never been there, it looks absolutely gorgeous. The Arboretum of Dallas, it's absolutely beautiful. So for the private investigators or people that want to be nosy, you might want to, I don't know, let me see the hours of the Botanical Garden so we can see the hours, so you guys can go to the Botanical Gardens and just maybe vicariously, you might see some interesting people, going there for their lunch break. The hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Specifically, I would kind of go on the water side where the water is at, because the Arboretum is on the lake. What is this? The White Rock Creek or something? Let me zoom in real quick because I'm nosy. So let me tell y'all something real quick. So one of the degrees has something to do with an open field and a house. So there's a bathhouse there. Right? Then there's the Cox Cemetery across the water, right? I don't know if they have ferries. If you're in Dallas, you might know if they have ferries where you can take a ferry from one side to the other side. Okay, you guys? But something about that Arboretum, it's a places where it's kind of sultry and, beautiful. All right, so let's go back in. All right, here we go. Okay, the Dallas Arboretum, Winfrey Point. Right, okay, so this is the White Rock Lake. Okay, so on the opposite side is the White Rock Lake Park. Okay, and then there's Winfrey Point. I don't know what it is about that that's making me think that would be a great meeting location. Okay. All right. So yeah. And this is in the neighborhood of Forest Hills. Flowers. Bunch of flowers over there. It's in the neighborhood. So where's that highway at? This might have been the meeting place. Hold on one second, y'all. What's the club? I'm looking at something on the map. Let me. Okay, hold on. I gotta find the main road. Okay, so Interstate 12 is the closest road. Casalinda. Hold on one second, y'all. What highways? No, where was? Give me 1 second. So that's the number 3. The highway 12 is the number 3. What? And when you're reading a birth chart, the birth chart can tell you things about other people because other people are in your birth chart, right? Okay. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Interstate 35. Right. Gardens in Dallas. Dallas by Interstate. Let's look up Gardens in Dallas by Interstate 35. Okay, gardens near Interstate 35. And they pop back up again. Oh, okay, I see it now. What the fuck? Okay, I see it. Oh. If anybody can let me know how close, do some research. If someone wants to do some research what was the closest garden to where Mo 3 was deleted. It was Interstate 35. If anybody wants to research the gardens that were closest, because when I'm looking on a map, so yeah, someone do some research on that. Let me hurry up and get out of here because I gotta pick it up. So yeah, the North Node. So that's telling us a little bit about his life path and where he's going. So the 13th degree of Scorpio is under a flowery arbor, a group of cheerful guests have a feast. Water overflows from a well adorned with beautiful roses. All y'all got somebody go to the garden and find, you know how they have those little statues with like running water? Or it could have been an event or something there. There could have been something there where it was a group of people and they could have an event, but it was a fun time. That's where the people meet. And it's probably, that's why I said it's closest to the water. That's another meeting spot. Jovial, sincere, and generous character. One confides in anyone, including persons who are not trustworthy, owing to one's excessive and undiscerning generosity. One is easily taken advantage of by greedy people, and thus one endangers one's wealth. If the natal chart, the sun is in a conjunction with this degree, it indicates frail health. Okay, so wow. So for his north, no, that's not it. No, Pluto. I'm sorry, Pluto. If Pluto is in his Pluto, the 13th degree shows that this you could be surrounded by people that are not trustworthy. And these people are very greedy. And see what happens when you deal with when you're money hungry, or you want money, you take a risk of being around shady characters, because you shady, but you don't know that they more shady than you. See, that's the thing about being shady and underhanded. If you kind of play along with that underhanded shady business, you have to remember that there are people that are going to be even shadier than you. And I think that's what's happening.
Start
I
clean
think that
with
he's shady.
Clorox.
He could have did some shady business. But the
Because
other
What
people
is
are even
that?
more
it
sinister.
happens.
Now you're cornered, right? You're cornered. And that's why that whole blackmail thing can come in. Because if you did something with these people, and they're shady, they can basically corner you and blackmail you, where you're going to have to basically adhere to them, or they're going to expose you. And guess what's going to happen? If he's not able to get up out of this, guess what's going to happen? All of those people, trust me when I tell you this, the people that, shh, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. Y'all got to pay close attention. We almost finished, y'all. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick. The very people that are going to expose him are the very people that are more shadier than he is. Okay? The very people that are going to expose him, they all work together. They all did this shit together. They all in it together. It's just that they have the ability to blackmail. That's all. So pay attention. There's no innocent parties. None. So just remember that when you start to hear certain things, there are no innocent parties. So the very people that will expose him are the very ones that basically probably could be even more sinister. Even more sinister. All right, and we have one more degree. When we're done, we have Lilith. No, we have the North Node in Capricorn. No, we got two more. We have the North Node in Capricorn. Okay, at 13 degrees. Let's pull that up real quick. Okay, the 13th degree. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all some good shit. One, on a carpet of flowers, a man with a falcon heads the harpsichord. I'm trying to tell y'all, Them flowers keep coming back up. Refined, devoted, and calculating character, endowed with great artistic gifts. And the first part of life, one is driven by envy and selfish objectives, and therefore, in order to reach one's artistic goals, one shows much dedication. 1 second, you guys. 1 second. Okay, check this out. These are the degrees. Okay, so he for his north node, you gotta remember the north node is K2, and the north node is how you play out your karmas, and it's your life path. It kind of tells you how your life, what to expect. And so even if you were born, let's say he's born a Libra, his life, he's going to play out some Capricorn energies. And I don't know why I kept bringing up that Capricorn, right? So the 13th degree of Capricorn is this is what it's attached to, because you got it. This is what it's attached to, so you can listen for a second, okay? Okay, so we're going to read that one more time. Refined, devoted, and calculated. Now I want you to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Refined, devoted, and calculating character, endowed with great artistic gifts. In the first part of life, one is driven by envy and selfish objectives, and therefore, in order to reach one's artistic goals, one shows much dedication and respect to one's mentors. One's success, fame, and wealth are achieved probably in music, the cinema, or philosophy. One becomes gentle and benevolent. If in the natal chart the moon is conjunction, right? So guess what that's telling me? 1 second, you guys. So this young man could have committed some acts in his 20s that he feels guilty about. He could have done some things that he doesn't feel good about, but he also knows that he wants to be an artist, and he's trying to get away from it, but his past is haunting him. So one of the things this young man is trying to figure out is how can he get away? How can he separate himself from his entanglements? There are entanglements, and he wants to get away from them. Now, can he escape it? I don't know. But from what the degrees is saying, it says once he can reach a certain amount of success in music, cinema, philosophy, one can become gentle and benevolent. So there could be a transformation. And I will tell y'all something. A lot of times, some people can get away with things. There are certain people that can escape things. We all have a past. We know that there are people, quite frankly, that have bodies. We have many people that have done things, and they try to rebrand themselves. They ask God for forgiveness. They ask God, they try to move past the egregious acts that they have committed. And I think that could be something that could be going around with him. I don't know if he's transitioned yet, but he has entirely too many attachments to too many people. So his entanglement is too entangled. It's like a web that he's in. The question is, can he escape it once these people turn on him? Because they're going to turn on him. Why? Because somebody else is going to pay him. There's going to be a counterpart, right? So it's going to be a reconstruction of a specific group, because that group is kind of falling. It's kind of in a messy situation right now. So if I was this young man, he has to go talk to a politician. It's some, like we already know, it's somebody that he knows that's in politics. And when I say politics, I'm just saying that maybe they just got a high position. They could work for the city council. They may not, because in politics, you have some people that play politics that are not known to the public, but they're like puppet masters. So the person he knows could be kind of more of a behind the scenes person. So he might want to go talk to him. The behind the scenes person, that, because you know, some people are into politics, but you don't see them. They know everybody though. They can make phone calls, and so for him, the only way he gonna get out, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but he gonna have to call somebody, because there has to be a realignment, because it's too many people that's going to try to blackmail this dude. Period. There's no other way to say it. And the last one is Lilith. This is the other woman. This is the woman, the other woman. Lilith. The dark side of the moon. She's in Capricorn too at 19 degrees. So this other Lilith woman, let's see where she's at. Let's see where she's lurking in the bushes. She's somewhere too. So we know he got the Virgo. And when we say Virgo, we only identify energies. He got the Virgo, and there's another woman. All right, so let's find out where she's at real quick. And then we're going to end it for today. 19 degrees. A monkey wearing jewels looks at itself in the mirror. It's in its back. Another monkey makes funny faces. Conceited, superficial, shrewd character, endowed with great talents for mimicry. One achieves success in fashion or in any occupation in the entertainment industry. The financial situation may not be stable, and therefore it is wise to put some savings aside in order to cope with lean periods. So, we are looking for a woman that is conceited, fake, callous, and she's a copier. She steals other people's identity. A monkey wearing jewels looks at itself in the mirror. Then its back, another monkey makes. Somebody's monkeying around. This is Lilith. Who is this woman? But he is a monkey. He looks like, if you look at him, he likes wearing a bunch of jewelry. Like, look at his face. Right? Look at his face. So, okay, this other Lilith person, I wonder, does she work for a jeweler? Ugh. I'm having my tongue twist. A jeweler. Does she work for one of these jewelry makers? Y'all remember that video where he was like, "It's on me, baby"? He was in that jewelry store. This woman, she could be convincing people to buy fake stuff, fake jewelry. A monkey wearing jewels looks at itself in the mirror. In its back, another monkey makes funny faces. So somebody's in the mirror looking at the jewelry. They have jewels on. And then there's another person kind of smiling, like, I see you, right? I see you, I see you. Who's the person that has the jewelry? Who's wearing the jewelry? I'm done. That's it for today. That's it. Somebody could have got over on him. Someone could have sold him something that wasn't real, fake, and that could be why yeah. But everybody's getting their jewelry from the same people. Everybody is getting their jewelry from the same person. I'm gone. You guys enjoy your day. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna put my link in the chat, so if you don't mind just stopping by to subscribe, right? Or make sure you guys subscribe. So that's what we're thinking about. How many people go to the same jeweler? Who is this woman? She's able to probably get everybody. See, somebody knows who got all the money, and they want to basically control, oh shit. What's that nigga's name? Was it Mike the Jeweler? What's his name? Remember Bootsy, the dude that got shot with Bootsy? Yeah, this lady, she know everybody, and basically they want to use her. They want to use her to be able to get all of these people to buy jewelry from them. Anyway, you guys, talk to y'all later. Y'all go locate. I gotta go find the botanical gardens. Somebody has to go see from where. Let me see where on interstate. Where you'll have to find out how close the interstate is to the Arboretum in Dallas or any flower garden. For lunch. Yeah, okay. So, that was what kind of fucking car is that? That looked like a rental car. Hell yeah, that's a fucking rental car. Cause it didn't even know things on there. It ain't no parking things in the window shield or anything. A bystander never. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay, so we're done here. I got the information that I needed. Yeah, so I was watching the news clip or something real quick. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Here we go, right here. Clarendon Drive. Let's go to Clarendon Drive. I'm about to see where that's at. Hold on a second. Because it's by the zoo. They said it's by the zoo, but let's see where that's at. Clarendon Drive, Dallas, Texas. Cedar Creek. Okay, that's okay. So South Dallas is over here. Fair Park, Cotton. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. Okay. So there's a park, Fair Park, Grove Hill Funeral Home and Memorial Park, Tension Park. So what? And then there's that one. There you go. That's what I was looking for. I knew I wasn't tripping. So Clarendon Drive. Remember I said something about that Dallas Arboretum? So that neighborhood is kind of adjacent to South Dallas, but it's really not far. So where he was at could have been, okay, that Dallas Arboretum Botanical Garden is close to Grove Hill Funeral Home and Memorial Park. But where he was shot was near the Clariton Drive exit for Interstate 35. So the question is, was he coming from this? And if you look at the map, this neighborhood is adjacent to South Dallas, right? But the question would be, what direction was he going? Was he going towards or away? Because where he was at, it's kind of like a junction, right? Where Interstate 35, Interstate 30 kind of all combined. It's kind of coming around the city, right? So I knew it. That daggone Arboretum is not far. What's this, Ferguson Road right here? Ferguson Road and Lakeland Drive, right? Right there. That is very close to Interstate 30, so it would have been easy to be in this neighborhood. So yeah, anywho, all of those people over there, I don't know what's going on, but what I'm gonna tell you is, you might be getting blackmailed, sir. So if you're getting blackmailed, you might want to go talk to somebody that has some influence, so they won't blackmail you anymore, because they're going to turn on you.